Let's talk about restructuring my brain on paper. Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Happy Easter. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, I just hope you're enjoying this Sunday, doing what brings you joy, and that you are relaxing and resetting for the week. So, I know you see a couple of things on here. You're like, what is happening? What is going on? What are we going to see? And how is this going to help? So, I want to talk about a new method that I'm going to use to restructure my brain and my planning process. This is this right here, this system right here. We will get into that. But first, I want to talk about the why. The why is I hit a dilemma. I hit a point of I don't think I can use this planner functionally for me anymore because it is not serving what I need it to do in terms of intentionality, in terms of functionality. It's not. Is it a point of vanity that I complete this? Absolutely. I would love to complete this and make it super chunky. I've seen some planners get this thick with all the memory keeping, and mainly a lot of the people or a lot of the planners in the community that I've seen have used this as a very specific daily journal, which is great. I think this is absolutely amazing. I've also seen people use the weeklies very functionally. But for me, this has been a point of this is very functional. This is not working out for me. So this is amazing. This is a point of I am getting very overwhelmed because I am having difficulty writing. The paper is inconsistent. I am wanting to keep memories, but if the paper is inconsistent or it's feathering, I would like to read what I'm writing, and that can cause a definite dilemma when you go back and kind of look at these pages. Now, what I do like is, yes, I could go back and look at some pages and be like, wow, this is my style. I love that. But I can't really read through all of it because, like I said, the inconsistencies with the page. This is an example where the feathering and the bleed through is happening, and this has happened in several points of this planner. I love how this looks. I love how this is functioning. I think this is something that I figured out my style and liked how I was using it. However, once it started becoming more and more chunky, I am having difficulty writing on this side because I can't functionally plan because I have a lot of journaling pages here that is kind of preventing me from writing neatly. And I know people talk about, well, just fold the book on itself. I don't really want to do that. I already discussed that. I'm someone who really does not like my binding to mess up. So I don't want to do that with this planner. So this is something that I think has taught me how to plan in terms of my style, what is functioning for me, what is functional. And then on top of that, I love that I was able to keep memories, but did I need to write down memories every single day? No. At times it was a lot of pressure and overwhelm to do this. And like I said, if I completed this, this is a vanity metric, and I don't need that right now. What I need is functionality. So this is where these two come in. First of all, this is the bullet journal method by writer Carol. I believe everybody in the planning and bullet journaling community know about this book. If you don't, then definitely, I think you should read it because it is a great book. On top of that, I picked up a Nolty A5 weekly planner. This is the PCDA planner, and this is the 6700. Okay. On top of that, this has a very unique layout that I want to share. So I love that this cover, I did buy this cover separately. It does come with a cover already, but I didn't like the color. So I bought another color on Amazon. It was like 13 bucks on sale. It's usually on sale. It has like 3 pockets. It has a back pocket. I like it. It works. And here's the front cover. Okay. It comes with the yearly overview. And then I brought you closer so you could see. Comes with a yearly plan. This is going to be a future log. It comes with the monthlies. And this paper is very different from the Tomo River paper, the Sanson version. This is the Nolty paper. They have their own paper, and this is from Japan. I did buy this on Amazon, and it was on sale, and it starts in January, but it does have its own distinct paper. Then come the weeklies, okay? So I'm going to flip through these so you could just see. But I migrated my entire weeklies from the Hobonichi Cousin into this planner. And I just love the weekly in this planner. And I will share it with you as soon as I am done flipping. But you could see that this is really functional. So this weekly layout, I'm just going to go to a page that doesn't have anything. This weekly layout is something I absolutely love. Now, if I go to a blank Hobonichi Cousin weekly, first of all, you can see the difference in the paper. This is a little brighter. This is a little more creamier. On top of that, these are whiter, okay? But you have no row or space for writing anything extra. I've seen people use sticky notes to write a list of tasks they need to do. I've seen people use this side to write tasks or use their trackers or have reminders, anything they want on this side. For some people, this space is great. For some people, it's not. For some people, they like to have a running task list. So this structure right here is very, very different. This has your weeklies. So 1 week is here from Monday through Friday. This is all on one page. Saturday and Sunday is on this page. This also has a gridded like list. You could do whatever you want. You can make a list of all the tasks you need to do. You can write any tasks that need to be completed in your home here. You can write expenses here. It has an action area here, it has a check area here, and it has a to-do list on the bottom. So this is super functional. This is how my brain works. I always need to write a to-do. I always need to keep track of my mood, my sleep. I like to keep track of my habits. Although I stopped, I need to go back to it. And the action area is what I use to write down what I am reading. So if I go to a page here, let me see if I could find something that is a little less overwhelming. So here I wrote a task list. I put, completed or canceled here. I've also wrote what books I was reading, what show I was watching. I have my mood tracker here, my sleep tracker, my to-do list that are very important, and then other things that I want to keep a track of. So this is pretty much how I was using it this week. Again, this is basically keeping a log of what I'm doing each day. This is the task list that I need to complete. I want to write down the expenses that I had for this week, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, my sleep and my mood, anything important here. This planner, let me tell you, the layout is absolutely something I didn't think I need, and I do need. And what I love is that this is just the weekly. I don't have to focus on journaling. I have another Nolty journal planner for that, and I've shared that, and I will share with you once April's over what April looked like. But this is absolutely everything. So when I purchased this book, I really wanted to focus on some key points, and I have them here. First of all, writer said, being busy is code for being functionally overwhelmed. And that's what I felt like in this planner right here. I felt so functionally overwhelmed, right? Because I was focusing on my journaling, then I was focusing on the weekly, and then I was like, I need to decorate it, make it look pretty. But then I was having difficulty writing. There's inconsistencies in the paper, so on and so forth. So what I love about this is that I'm incorporating this system into this weekly planning system. How? First of all, I want to focus on what I'm working on, should be working on, and want to be working on. I think that this is really important. This is something that he mentions in his book. I even wrote the page number here because I want to go back to it and read it. Then for the task, is it vital? Yes, keep. If it's not vital, does it matter? Yes, then keep. If it's not, then remove. I also want to use the system that he's using in his bullet journals in terms of kind of defining what each item you're writing is. So for tasks, it's a circle, entries that require you to take action, an X for completed tasks or actions that have been completed. This little arrow right here facing on the left side is for my graded tasks that have been moved forward. This right here facing this way is scheduled task, a task that has led to a date in the future, so I can move it into the future log. And then with a line through is cancel task. I also use this for completed tasks if it's something that I need to look at specifically with a date. So tasks that have been canceled or tasks that have been completed or irrelevant, this is what I can use for that. Next, in terms of the weekly, I want to use these specific symbols for rapid logging. Rapid logging is a way that I can write down information in very short, brief snippets, and I will use these symbols and I describe the content, I describe the intention, and then I also just kind of basically figure out what I need to do with that. Okay, is it something that I need to be working on, should be working on, or need to be working on? And does it need to go on my to-do list? Does it need to go here where I can look at the progress? Does it need to be migrated? Is it anything that needs action? So this is what I want to incorporate. On top of that, I want to use AM and PM reflection. So AM is basically for planning, PM is for review, right? To see what needs to be migrated, what needs to be moved. And then weekly reviews. These weekly reviews are going to be really important because this is where I migrate information either into my memory journal or into the back of this planner. This planner comes with note pages. And these are the note pages here. They give you a good amount of note pages, which I love. I can definitely break this down by month if I want to for each page and migrate the information here and then just even have family notes if I need to. Or I could just write down the most important information and then make sure that's migrated here, and then whatever needs to be in the memory journal can go in the memory journal. I also wanted to share with you the pen test that I did. So I used markers and I only use the Uni Jetstream pen. This is a zebra blend. This is a very thick gel pen and this is a pencil. But as you can see, there is no bleeding. This, the zebra blend, you could see a little bit, but it still didn't bleed. It's like a faint marking here. So for me, this paper is very different from the Tomover paper Sensen version, but at the same time, it's so nice. Like, it has some grit to it. It feels smooth. It doesn't exactly feel like a Leuchtturm or a Moleskine type of paper, and it does not feel like a Tomoe River paper. So like, even if I go to a single sheet, right? This is definitely a little thinner. I don't know if you can hear that. And this paper right here is a little thicker, but it's still thin paper. So the way I'm going to rewire my brain on paper or restructure my brain on paper is basically I am going to take the information that I read in this book. This is going to be my future log. I do have YouTube and reading stats here because I do want to keep a track of that. But other than that, this is going to be used as a future log. This is going to be a monthly log, and I have the monthlies here. Very minimal monthlies. If you don't like the pink, then that's fine. I don't mind it. I like it. And then we have the weeklies. The weeklies are where I am going to rapid log the information. Okay. And then on top of that, I'm going to use the back area for notes. So this is how I'm going to rewire my brain. And I do plan on definitely sharing my method and how I think on paper. But I hope this helps. I cannot wait for you all to see what I'm going to do with this. And until the next time.